That rationality that comes from your detachment makes people creates fear, because one of the signs that somebody's falling out of love with you is rationality. Plain and simple. They start speaking rationally. They start making sense. They start saying things, rational reasons why you shouldn't be together. Right? And another thing that forces them is that, you see, a lot of people who can't control their emotions, a lot of people who are at the will of negative emotions, meaning they can't self-regulate, they never learn how to feel good on their own. One of the things about them is that they'll never confront you for your mistakes. They don't confront you because they're afraid that if they do speak up, if they are assertive, if they do tell people what they want, they might leave them. And because of that, you never really stand up. And people make mistakes, and people make mistakes early on, and they're observing as to whether or not you speak up, and people pay attention to that. But one of the things that will happen is that when you're willing to walk away because you have a long-term vision, you know exactly what you want, you know exactly how you want people to treat you, and you know exactly how you don't want people to treat you. You have a realistic goal as to your relationships, and you're not willing to compromise. When you have that, there's an air of uncertainty, an air of power that emanates from you. So when you have discussions where they're messing up or they're being disrespectful and you talk to them, they can sense that you really want to work it out, but that you're willing to walk away. And this is where a lot of people have a tough time being honest, because they think that if you tell people that you're not happy and that you want them to change certain things in their behavior to work it out, they think that's weak, right? When in reality, if you do this with a mindset that if you don't fix this, I'm leaving, it creates power, it creates attraction, it makes people like you more, and it makes them chase you harder. And at the end of the day, that's when you are your most attractive self. When you're willing to detach, when you're willing to walk away, when you're able to suffer to get over them. It's not something that they can see and point to. It's an aura, a sensation, a mood that you give off that creates this type of energy. And it's really attractive, because this is when you are your most attractive self. When you're your code, this is when you are your most attractive self. That's just a fact. So you have to understand is that, you see, most of the problems we have in life, and most of the situations that we have, most of the problems we have in dating, a lot of the times, comes from social interactions and comes from our inability to detach. And the reason why is because you are a completely different person when you're with someone who you are able to walk away even though it might hurt, versus with someone who you can't walk away from. You are a completely different person. That's why some people are really attractive when you first get to meet them. But the more you meet them, the more you start to see some intensity, some unwillingness to walk away. You saw them as calm and under control, but the more they start to like you, the more they lose control. And I bet we've been in that situation. The impression you get is weakness. The impression you get is that why would I want their validation when they're so willing to give it? Like when it's and so this is why even when you're falling for people, you don't have to hide how you feel, but mentally always remember what are the things that if they do, you will walk away from them. You have to have those things in mind, because if you don't, as you fall in love with them, you're gonna start to lower your standards about them. You're gonna start to tolerate them being more disrespectful, because the more you like them, the more unwilling you are to leave. And so you change your standards. Everything about you changes, and you literally look like a completely different person. In fact, it feels like you've been tricked. It feels like this is who you were and you were just hiding it. And that turns people off, right? It's like a bait and switch. You know, and this is why if you don't work on yourself and you just use relationships as a way to escape yourself, you're always going to be pushing people away. You're always going to be creeping people out with your energy. And you're never really going to know why, because you one, you don't want to know. Two, you don't have the self-awareness, right? And your ego is just too fragile to know the truth. As an example is this. You're dating someone And one day you wake up and you see them and they're tired of your bullshit. You can't really sense why they're tired of, why they're done with your bullshit. You can sense it in the coldness, in the way that they speak to you, in the way that they talk to you, and in the way that they react to you. It's almost like they're a different person, and we've experienced that when we date people who all of a sudden stop liking us. It's almost like they're just different. You're like, what the fuck? Like, you're not even the same person, right? And that's what happens when you detach. And one of the ways to do this is to literally tell people you've detached. Literally tell people that you have gone from liking someone to not liking someone. Literally that, telling them that is all you need. And as long as you don't like, as long as you're not too, as long as you don't show those desperate, creepy, zoid type of energy, which is usually in your nonverbal cues, when your nonverbal cues are really fast, like you react fast, right? You go from this to this really quickly. When they speak, you respond fast. When they text you, respond fast. When they do something wrong and hurt your feelings, you show those emotions too much. There's no constraint in your nonverbal cues. There's no ability to control yourself. There's no slowness. It's all quick reactions. All of those things indicates that you can't detach. Because those quick reactions are it's just anxiety. You're so aware of every little thing that's happening that your reaction time is quicker. But that actual awareness comes because you are anxious. You are not afraid to walk away. But what happens when you detach, there's an aloofness to you. It's almost like you're just letting life happen. It's like an aloofness. And people sense that energy it'll indicate to them that you're willing to walk away. And they don't think that. They don't say, oh my God, look at her being aloof. That means, oh, look at him being aloof. That means he's willing to walk away. No, it just comes across as attractive. All right, if you guys enjoy these videos about stoicism, dating, relationships, self-help, moving up in life, I would recommend you guys check out some of my courses that I have for sale. These courses are courses for men and women. For example, Nice Girl, Nice Guy is a course about how to become more assertive. Natural Chemistry is a course for women that I have on how to develop strong relationships. Dark Game is a controversial course that I have for guys on how to attract women in their life and keep it. It's not as dark as it seems, but we do talk about some dark psychology in here. Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that we made for women who are single. And as you see, we have a course about how to develop charisma, emotional mastery, which is a course about how to develop a meditation practice and how to improve your emotional life, to become more resilient, to not let rejection hit you so hard, to be able to bounce back from failure. I have a course called Nice Guy, which is a course for guys who are single and guys who want to be able to develop more assertiveness training, right? Most of these courses come at $99. And there you could also purchase the bundle where you guys can purchase all of the courses in one go at a discounted rate, right? We have a bundle for women and a bundle for men. So click in the description down below to check them out. You could browse around and see the courses that you like. And if you don't like them, you guys can ask for a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'll give you guys the money back, okay? And in fact, we actually have a new one for women right now we're developing. It's called The Feminine Woman. So if you're a woman watching, this course is specifically to help women become more feminine, to embrace their feminine while embracing their masculine energy. And I'm actually going to make a course for that, like that for men, which is called the Masculine Man, which is a course on how to develop masculinity and develop masculine energy, to attract women in your life, to attract business success in your life, to be able to be better socializing, to read people better. It's truly an all-around course. So if you guys want to check out those courses, click on the description down below where it says purchase the courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.